Time on the clock has expired. It's definitely game over. The results are in. Bale Grazing is very... Welcome back to American Beef Ranch. My name is Jesse. Today we are talking about Bale Grazing, the results, the final. There is no arguing past these results and what we have come to found this last year. If you don't know, we moved a whole bunch of dirt last year, and this is one of the fields we moved dirt in. This lower portion of this field was pretty rocky and shallow. We went ahead and made the dirt deeper so we could plant potatoes in it if we wanted to, and we also brought in dirt so that we could farm the entire bit that the pivot already irrigated, because if you're watering rocks, well, you don't make a lot of money watering rocks, unfortunately. And if we could make money watering rocks, man, I would be a billionaire. But nevertheless, we moved a lot of dirt, and we moved so much dirt that we got away from dirt or got away from soil, I should say, and got into dirt. So basically really inert material. It doesn't have those 5 big things that good soil has to have to be really healthy. So available calcium, available phosphorus, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. This doesn't have any of it, and you can see it. It's a white strip. We were growing corn last year. You can see it. The corn didn't grow there. It's pretty obvious that this patch is very lacking in nutrients. Now, there's a lot of things you can do to add. We can add new amendments. We can add, certain things. This definitely needs some carbon. We can see that. It's really light dirt. We know that we can only do what we're able to do, and what we're able to do is what we can afford. So for an operation that has livestock, Bale Grazing is a very popular option for us to help fix this. Now, why can we fix this? And are we only fixing it in one way, or can we help in more than one way? How does it work? And can Bale Grazing be a positive, or is it a negative? So let's talk a little more about it. Well, this is a rock, but this is not what we're talking about. If you see here on your right, this is some of that white dirt we were talking about, and it's dead. There's nothing in it. It's not considered soil, it'd be considered dirt. But if you see over here to your left, now that is a beautiful patch of green grass. It's grass, and there's some weeds in there too, but this dirt over here won't even grow weeds. That's how poor it is. And if we get into some of our fields, if you get into some of your fields and you don't apply fertility products like whatever it may be, and you have that white strip, the white strip is going to yield lower. It usually doesn't grow very good, but then you get a little bit out of it because you are kind of helping it along chemically, with the chemical fertilizer and other things that you may put on. You get a little bit of energy out of it. You're not getting a lot. So this is an example of where we placed a bale. So the bale went here. Now, let's get something straight. What's the difference between healthy soil or high quality soil versus this low quality dirt? Well, high quality soil that creates high quality plants has available calcium, available phosphorus, carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. If you didn't know, carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen make up 94% of a plant. 43% carbon, or 47% carbon, 43% oxygen, and 4% hydrogen is the entire plant. So when we take that hay bale, we took a big 4x4 square bale and set it here and spread it out just a little bit. We spread it out a little bit so all the cows could get to it. We were reintroducing that carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen to this dirt, and we kind of started it down a path to becoming soil. So if you haven't figured out, and if you can't obviously tell basically the straight line difference, or by the overhead photos, you can't see the 4 distinct spots where we put hay bales on this very poor dirt, because you will see before what it looked like growing corn this last year, which was, it didn't grow very good here. And then you see now where we have these 4 spots, and it's like, wow. Bale Grazing in this context is impressive in the results that it created. So if somebody was to have a white strip or a bad spot or something like that, Bale Grazing, heck yeah, is a great way to do that, because I think what we're seeing here is 2 different things. We're seeing 2 different reactions. We know that dirt like this doesn't have calcium, or available calcium, available phosphorus, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. So there's no air in the soil. There's no way for the soil to respirate. We know the bugs can't do their job, the aerobic bugs, but there still is anaerobic bacteria, and we probably have a little bit of an anaerobic reaction here, making some of those nutrients a little more available, including some of the other ones like zinc and boron and manganese and all the other stuff, right? We probably have that going on here because we have the cows aerating the ground a little bit with their feet, and they're stomping in the extra hay, putting that in the ground, but then on top of that they're adding feces and urine on top of it. So that's kind of create this little moisture sandwich that doesn't have air. So the anaerobic bacteria is probably breaking that stuff down, but within them breaking it down, they're putting off gases, and those gases are aerating the soil, and then they're helping chemical reactions here and there and everywhere make the soil breathe and make the calcium available. And when the calcium becomes available, that soil starts to flocculate and open up, and when it does, the good bacteria or the aerobic bugs can get to work and doing their job. So that is kind of, I think, what we're seeing here. We're seeing two different things. Now, be warned, and let's put this out here. When you are feed like this to animals and they ingest it and it comes out their back end, they take those top 5 nutrients themselves. They take the available calcium, the available phosphorus, the carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, almost completely out of that material. So the fertilizer value, or the value of this, could be cut in half because we use the cows to do it. But because the soil was in such poor condition, in this instance, I think it was the right move to use the cows, because we needed that wet matter and their hooves and everything in here. There is something to be said. If you don't have access to animals, cattle, sheep, whatever, you don't want to worry about fence, you don't want to do that stuff, you can take carbonaceous material, corn stalks, hay, straw, certain minerals that you can apply thickly over or spread out over your field and turn under the ground, and that process will start help breaking down, and you should see the echelon of that soil step up. But with soils as poor as this, man, livestock can definitely make a difference. And if you haven't noticed, the results are in. Bale grazing is pretty awesome, and you know, I definitely think, especially for me, where I moved all this dirt on my farm and I have all these spots that really need help, targeted bale grazing over the next winter season could really improve my soil in a super fast way, on top of putting on, when we apply nutrients for our growing season, the available calcium, the available phosphorus, the carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and adding that back into our irrigation systems to help get it in the ground, to help get it head in the right direction. But like I said, we're always working to improve, and this is just one more way that we can take dirt and get it on the path to being soil. And not just any soil, but some of the best soil. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time on American Beef Ranch.